welcome. Today we're going to talk about FTO croissants. That's freezer to oven. The actual, true freezer to oven. No proofing needed, no thawing needed, no special equipment needed. You have met the amazing FTO croissant. Here we are, the long awaited. I wanted to show you the FTO croissants are going to come in the same case pack size as the traditional proof and bake croissants. So that way you can anticipate what size for your cooler. But one really cool thing we're going to show you. This is our current proof and bake croissant. This is the FTO croissant. You're going to notice it looks flat and squished. That's on purpose. It's by design. So one of the things you're going to notice is that this is going to bake up and layers are going to be flaky and rise in the oven. You're also going to notice there's a plain side and an egg wash side. So when you pan these, you want to pan the egg wash side up. That way you don't need to brush them with a second layer of egg wash. Traditionally they come plain. The proof and bake comes plain. The freezer to oven now comes egg wash for your convenience, so you can get a nice golden brown right out of the freezer. No fuss. Okay, for a half sheet we're going to pan 6 to a sheet. On a full sheet we're going to pan 15, that you can fit one extra row in there. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to bake these off from frozen. Remember, egg side up. And we'll be back in just a couple minutes. We're going to show you doneness. What we're looking for, it's going to be rich golden brown on top. It has to be dry on the sides. So when you go ahead and try and squish the edges, it wants to be firm, okay? If you have any softness, bake it longer. And then the final check is we're going to take the internal temperature. We're going to look for 210 degrees or higher. We're going to see you in a couple minutes. Let's throw this in the oven. Welcome back. So we just took our fresh, hot FTO croissants out of the oven. And so I wanted to show you the difference in the baking degrees of doneness. Frequently in the US, we tend to bake to a light golden brown. And so for the FTO croissants, because these are butter rich and already have the egg wash on, I want you to bake them to rich golden brown. So you're going to see this is more of a European color for doneness. The reason why this is important to bake it all the way instead of a light golden brown is you can get some collapse if the product is not completely baked. And so that's why I need you to bake until it's 210 degrees internal temperature. You're going to see the difference in the crown. You actually get this nice beautiful jump in the crown those last couple minutes. One thing that's noted here too, normally in the convection oven you turn it halfway during baking. Don't do that. I want you to leave the door closed and let the steam that's in there stay in there. It helps give it a bigger push on your lift, and it helps so that you don't lose the heat that's in the oven. I want you to keep all the heat that's in the oven to help keep the rise on your croissants. Do you remember when I showed you the raw dough picture, how the FTO croissants were flat and the proof and bake croissants were rounder? I want to show you the difference now that they're fully baked. Look at the volume on your FTO croissant. This is beautiful. It's rich golden brown from the egg wash. You can see we also egg wash the proof and bake. But look at that height difference that you get from the FTO. But you must bake it all the way. Okay? You still get height on the ones that are on the lower end of the bake range. But look at what you gain when you bake them to the rich golden brown. That's really important for you to have an awesome experience. This is still going to taste delicious and buttery. This looks closer to the proof and bake, and so that's why it's tempting to only bake to this color. I want to encourage you, bake it to this higher degree of doneness. You'll be so much happier. Okay? Now we're going to show you in the real oven. So if you're baking at home and doing your samples, I wanted to also show you, because normally in the real oven it takes longer to brown, where in the convection oven we had the advantage of the air in the convection oven. So in your home oven, you want to make sure, one, your oven is actually hot enough, okay, that you want to make sure that it's calibrated, because there's no other steam in there, there's no other air in there. Okay, and so again, we're gonna show you, look at the volume, the difference between a proof and bake and the FTO, rocking it, okay? And even though we have similar height, all we did was we baked it till it was drier, but we want you to bake it to that 210 degrees and don't open the door. Set the timer, set it and forget it. Wait until like the last 2 minutes on your timer to go check it, because you want that steam to stay in there, you want it to push through, and then you want the layers on the exterior to dry out. It must be dry to the touch, okay? That's a key deliverable on making sure that your croissant is properly baked. Must be dry to the touch. If there's any squish or any white lines, not done yet, okay? And you can see on this one, even though it looked like we had enough color, it still had the white lines, and so it collapsed at the end. That's why take it to the 210 degrees, bake it until it's rich golden brown. Enjoy.